How does one accidentally fall into bed with two other people? I don't know whether to laugh or cry. How can you clean every nook and cranny of your body in just 5 minutes? I don't believe that.
I think my shower could be less than that.
I'd rather it not be less than that. The heading to the cabin for a threesome? Hey guys, it's V and welcome to today's episode. We're going to be exploring a bunch of true but chaotic Reddit stories from the internet. And today's theme is peer pressure is just so real. I think one of the things that I wish I had learned or someone had told me about is how to deal with peer pressure. I feel like growing up, I've done some pretty dumb things and some things I just didn't mean or didn't need to do, but it's because everyone else is there, everyone else is doing it, so I guess I'm doing it too. You know? So let me know if you guys have ever had any crazy peer pressure moments, good or bad. I mean, something that's been good as a result of peer pressure, I think, in my younger adult years now is looking back, seeing my friends' relationships progress forward. I mean, when they got engaged, when they got married, it made me kind of more reflective with my own relationship and got me excited for my own engagement as well. So that's a plus with peer pressure. And in today's stories, we're going to be exploring whether or not the peer pressures in OP's lives are good or bad. So let's get into it. Oh, and when I say OP, it's short for original poster. Let's get into our first story. Our first one is from the subreddit AITH. Am I the hole for breaking up with my girlfriend for giving in to peer pressure? My ex-girlfriend, 27-year-old female, and I, 29-year-old male, have been together for just over a year. I broke up with her last week after yet another situation where her inability to stand up for herself crossed a serious line. The first red flag happened 5 months ago. She came to my apartment after a night out with her friends and confessed tearfully that she had made out with another guy. Her excuse? Her friends were pressuring her to loosen up and live a little, and she didn't want to look uptight in front of them. I was furious, but decided to forgive her because she was honest and apologized immediately. However, I told her that this wasn't okay and we agreed that she wouldn't go out drinking with those friends again, since they clearly didn't respect her boundaries or mine. You know, guys, when I was saying peer pressure, I'm thinking more harmless things. This excuse of I didn't want to look uptight, so I made out with another guy with the friends. I just it's reminding me of the whole, oh, the elevation in the mountainous region of Utah is making me hallucinate and I'm just not me when I'm in Utah story. If you guys have checked out one of the past episodes. But let's get into it. Let's see. Opie says, fast forward to last week, she told me she was taking a mental health day and would be hanging out with friends. What she didn't mention was that she was heading to a cabin in a small town with those same friends. I found out when she texted me after the fact, casually saying she'd be back later that evening. This was frustrating enough. I don't think it's unreasonable to want a heads up about a trip, especially with friends I'd already expressed concerns about. When she came over the next day, I pressed her about what happened. She initially said it was just a relaxing day with the girls, but something about her tone felt off. I kept asking, and after 3 days of her denying that anything unusual happened, she finally broke down and admitted the truth. One of her friends had been pressuring her for weeks to join a threesome with her and her husband. My ex claimed that she'd been saying no repeatedly, but eventually gave in to the pressure and went to the cabin with them. She swore that nothing happened and that they didn't go all the way, but at that point, it didn't matter to me. I told her the relationship was over. I explained that while I understood feeling pressured, going to the cabin was her choice. Staying friends with people who constantly push her to violate her own boundaries and mine was her choice. I also told her she needed to seriously think about why she surrounds herself with people who bring out the worst in her. She cried and accused me of blaming her for something she didn't have control over. I told her she absolutely had control. Unless they dragged her to the cabin at gunpoint, her decisions were her own. Now, her brother is texting me saying I'm being too harsh and that I should be helping her work through her issues instead of walking away. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's my responsibility to stay in a relationship where my trust and boundaries are repeatedly being disregarded. So, am I the a-hole for ending things? No, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. I've heard of people being peer pressured into being a mean girl or being nasty towards someone or making a poor decision in the moment. But where does one begin? Oh, how hard are the friends actually pushing the ex-girlfriend to do any of these things? Like, are we talking on a scale of like between 0 to 10, 0 being like, do you want to do this? And 10 being, no, no, you have to. I'm going to push you physically until you do this. Like, where are we at the scale? It doesn't seem like the ex girlfriend has a mind of her own. If this is all it takes for the so called peer pressure, I think this is an excuse. I think she wants to have her cake and eat it too. Like, she wants that to try all of these things with her friends and do these things that supposedly the friends forced her to do, but still enjoy the company of you, OP. She wants to have a boyfriend and simultaneously break all your boundaries and live as if she's a, single lady making her own decisions all the time and changing her boundaries whenever it pleases her. I It's an excuse. I'm sorry. I don't buy this for a single second. Unless she has like zero backbone, which I find it really hard to believe, being talked into kissing another guy, the heading to the cabin for a threesome. Come on. And she told him, "Oh, I'm taking a mental health day. I'm just going to have a girls' day." I mean, I've had girls' day too, but this is a very different definition of what I've come to experience as a girls' day. Maybe that's just me. No. And the fact that now she has her family members texting OP saying, "Oh, he's being too harsh." OP, I think you're being gaslit. Actually, no. You're like being set on fire with lies. What is this? I'm flabbergasted. Sometimes I think I've seen it all, and then people just have a way of being way more creative. I don't know. I just find it really simple. Like, if you just don't enjoy being with your partner anymore, just break it off. And then you can pursue whatever fantasies and, whatever you want it to be afterwards. Why do this? Why drag someone along, paint them this whole story? Why? Why? I don't get it. But OP, I don't think you're the a-hole for breaking up at all. I think you did yourself a favor. And also, why were you even with this person? I don't know. I have a lot of questions. What are your thoughts?
I'd say that OP's ex girlfriend is not ready for the type of relationship that OP is looking for.
Yes. I think you're putting it very elegantly.
Right. Some people, some people have more open relationships and they might be okay with stuff like that. But I for as of the last uh, thing that the ex girlfriend did was kind of twofold, right? One is straight up lying
Yeah.
and kind of not just it happened, oh, something happened accidentally or I was peer pressured. No, she kind of pre-planned it because she was lying to OP already
Oh,
about the
yeah.
trip, about what the trip was about. So yeah,
I hate
I
that.
don't buy the peer pressure excuse at all.
I hate the fact that every single time he asked her, like, what was actually going on, she was feeding him a new story. Like, it was always something else. It was never just that. I hate that she doesn't own up to it. Like, if you're gonna cheat on your partner, if you're gonna break the promises and the boundaries that you had with each other, just own up to it at that point. At first, she was like, "Oh, I'm taking health day," and then all of a sudden is, "Oh, I'm gonna go to cabin. It's just a girls' day," and then it became, "Oh, they wanted threesome, but don't worry about it. Nothing happened." And then it became, "We didn't go all the way." I'm like, what does that even mean? How does one accidentally fall into bed with two other people? Explain.
Yeah, I don't think it was accidental. Although, like, also some people kind of get off on that they're they're in a relationship and they're gonna do these
Oh,
things
like
be
that they have a secret life that their partner doesn't know
yeah,
about?
or do things like that, and that's what kind of think that's partly why some people do that as well.
That's so sad. I feel so bad for OP, but hey, at least he broke it off. OP, just move on your merry way, on to, better and brighter days. You don't need this person in your life. No more stress of, dang, does she not have a backbone, or is she doing this on purpose? I'm pretty sure she's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I'm surprised this is even a question.
Like, I feel like this is one of those very easy, blunt, slam the gavel down. Yeah, you're not the a-hole. But Depending on who they're being surrounded by, because I can imagine if ex's brother is calling OP and saying, "Oh, you're such a jerk. You know she struggles with peer pressure. Oh, you know she has, I don't know, maybe she has anxiety or something. Why are you going to dump her over this?" So some people try to play that card. And I can see how someone who's kind of caught into it in the middle might start second guessing it. Like, if all these people around me are saying that I'm the bad guy, maybe I am. But I'm glad, OP. And may you also remove yourself from whatever friend circle that she's involved in because it doesn't seem like they align with your values and your boundaries. Now, let's see what the comments say. First comment from Scary Captain. Not the a hole. You didn't break up over peer pressure. You broke up because she's a cheater. She's cheating on you and manipulating you into thinking it wasn't her fault. It's other people that peer pressured her. Don't fall for it. Move on. OP response, you're absolutely right. The peer pressure excuse felt like a way to shift blame and avoid taking responsibility for her actions. At the end of the day, she made her choices, and I couldn't stay in a relationship where trust was broken like that. I'm definitely moving on. I would say people sometimes talk about falling out of love being a prevalent topic in relationships. I think one of the bigger reasons and concerns that people break up is actually trust. Because feelings, I think they can grow, they can lessen over time. You can do things to strengthen your feelings and emotions, right? But once that trust is gone, man, it is hard to rebuild. I think it's just too hard. I think it's easier to fall back into love with someone than to retrust someone you don't trust anymore. What do you think? Agree? Disagree?
I have to agree with that.
Yeah. Another comment, and I like their username. This username is that guy who eats bagels. Commenter says, not the whole, she's using peer pressure as an excuse for cheating. Heck, the friends might have never peer pressured her and she's lying. She did have control over the situation, and don't let your brother's BS about helping her change your mind. OP responds, that thought crossed my mind too. I mean, if she lied for days before confessing, who's to say she didn't twist the story to save face? Either way, peer pressure or not, she's made the choice to cross boundaries, and that's not something I can tolerate in a relationship. Oh, that's true. I'm wondering what story she's feeding everybody else, like feeding the friends, feeding the brother, the family members. Because if people are getting angry at OP, I wonder, is she telling them something like, oh, he's just mad because I'm not more confrontational or something? She could be spinning some sort of weird lie that he doesn't know about. There's no verdict on this one yet, but I'm looking at all the comments. Most are saying not the a-hole. Actually, all of them are saying not the a-hole. And I agree. I think this is a very nice, clean, and easy verdict for us in our first story. And if you guys have thoughts on the story, let me know. And if you're enjoying this read so far, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe, guys. Although if you're tuning in through Spotify, don't forget to rate this 5 stars. Now, our next story is our wild story. Wild story is just that, a story that's a little bit chaotic, a little kooky. But when I saw it, I thought you guys have to hear this.
I'm surprised you said wild story.
Huh?
I'm surprised you said
Oh,
wild story.
man. I meant to say wild pick.
Uh-huh.
Well, you guys get it. Wild pick. Now, this story is from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole? Navy showers at parents' house. Am I the a-hole? Navy shower edition. I, 33-year-old female, am married to my husband, 42-year-old male. We have 2 young boys under 5 and live out of state from my parents. It's about a 3-hour drive to their house, and we visit fairly often. They have a larger home in a beautiful neighborhood, and they have very well-paying jobs. Since we have young kids, we often stay for the whole weekend. My dad, 50-year-old male, is ex-military and grew up taking Navy showers, as he calls them. My grandfather always made my dad and his brothers, as well as anyone else who stayed at their house, take them as well. It's essentially a regular shower, except you turn the water off when you're soaping yourself up and shampooing your hair. So you'll turn the water on to start the shower, then turn the water off to soap up and shampoo your hair, and then turn the water back on to rinse off. My grandfather always said it saved tons of water and was efficient. Growing up, I always thought it was ridiculous because it just meant you were standing there freezing while the water was off for half your shower. My dad always rolled his eyes over it too. Just this past weekend, though, he told my husband and I that we needed to start taking Navy showers when we visited. He said my husband takes too long of a shower while he's there and it's wasting water, so he wants us both to do them. He and my mom both shower that way every day because he believes it saves water and is better for their septic system. It should be noted that my husband is not taking long, luxurious showers for fun. He is balding and shaves his head in the shower every morning to prevent stubble. His showers are roughly 20 minutes long, and again, it's because he has to shave his head. Anyway, my dad told us this, and we both politely said, okay. However, later in the day, he brought it up again, and I told him I thought it was a little ridiculous to stand in a freezing shower without water just to save at most 2 minutes worth of water. Not to mention, my husband would be turning the water on and off every time he needed to rinse his razor. My dad just repeated that we, but especially my husband, takes too long of a shower. He claims my husband takes 30 to 45-minute showers while he's there. I explained that my husband has never taken that long of a shower and that it's a little weird to be monitoring the length of our showers. I told him that it makes us both, but especially my husband, feel awkward and we both feel like we're being judged. He wouldn't budge and just repeated he wanted us to shower that way while at his house because he believed it was better. We, of course, respected what he said and did the Navy showers this weekend. But am I the a-hole or is it actually a ridiculous request? I learned some fun things from the story today. One, I have never heard of the term Navy shower before. Have you?
No, first time.
But okay, I always had a thought about this shower concept. Do people generally like the process of you getting a shower, right? You warm up the water first. Unless you're one of those people who stand there in the cold water until it like gets the right temperature. I don't know how you brave it. But for me, I turn on the water to the correct temperature I want it. Then I hop in quickly. I do a rinse off first. I don't know why. I think it makes the soap work better. I swear it does. Don't fact check me. I don't know if there's a scientific study made around this. But I do a once over rinse and then get my hair damp and then I put on the shower or put on the shower. Then I put on the soap, the shampoo, all of that. And then I rinse. I will say I do leave the water on as I put the shampoo in my hair and stuff. But generally, I swear it only takes like 20 seconds for me to like work all the shampoo and the soap all around my body and my hair. So, why are you shaking your head? I swear.
Takes longer than that.
Okay, maybe it takes more like a minute. But I had a small thought in my head the other day of, wait, is this a waste of water? Should I be turning the water completely off, and then applying soap and stuff, and then turning it back on, wait for it to get to the right temperature, and then shower, and then put on hair conditioner? Like, what do people actually do? I think I've always just kind of like quickly put the soap on and then, continued my shower. But I never actually turned it off in the middle of it. What do you do?
I usually just leave the water running, but my
Yeah.
showers are actually
Well,
pretty quick.
okay, to be fair, M, my fiance here chiming in with us, his shower is a lot faster, but he also doesn't have long hair. My defense is I have really long hair.
Yeah. Although I don't know why I sometimes do, but I do sometimes also turn off the water as well. It does save water.
I guess over time, yeah, that's true. I feel like incrementally, depending on what area you live in, water might be way more expensive in your area. But depending on where it is, I can see that some people would kind of take more conservative showers, like more efficient showers. Man, I'm feeling kind of guilty over my
Yeah.
showering.
Well, call me crazy, but I was like 50-50 on which side I was gonna take in the story. I'm
Yeah.
uh,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
given the, septic tank, so
Yeah, I don't know what that means, to be
well,
honest.
that means that they don't have a, like, I guess, they're not connected to, like, the city's or town's sewer system. So
So is
it's
it
likely
limited
that they could
water?
be
More
well
limited compared to connected to
well,
the
not
city?
even I'm not talking about water. This is for sewage. There's a possibility that they live far away from any towns or cities' utilities. So maybe they have a well or something and they have limited water. You never know that.
That's true.
From my experience, when I was growing up, I lived outside the city,
Mhm.
and the water that you had was technically from the well. So
Oh,
there's and in certain times of the year, sometimes water would be low, so you have to conserve it. So
okay.
especially
That
when
makes
you
sense.
shower, you have to kind of conserve water.
Oh, is that the reason why? So I have some cousins that live in Oklahoma, right? And they mentioned this too, that sometimes in the city or whatever, there's a certain almost like laundry curfew. Like I've heard before that there's in some cities there's a curfew for when you can do your laundry or not take a shower, but like run, I guess, water and
Yeah,
things like
like
that. Is that related to that?
water your lawn, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
but
watering lawn, things like that.
it's I guess it's related, but in this
Mm.
particular case, yeah, like the water might be limited. So if someone's taking 30, 40 minutes showering, yeah, you might
Yeah.
drain the water quite a bit.
I don't know where to sit on this because on one side, usually I'm very much team you're staying at someone's house, their rules. Like I try to conform to who, like if it's their home, I'm going to try to follow their way of doing things. But the showering thing also gets me a little bit. And trying to take into account that assuming, they live in an area where water is more limited at certain times, I would be even more careful. And it's not that big of an ask to just simply turn off the water when you're applying soap because you're technically not using it. You're just going to be freezing for maybe like 30 seconds or a minute. So it's also not that big of an ask, I guess. But then on the other side, I'm thinking it just feels a little bit, I can see how it can feel a little bit nitpicky to someone that you're now telling them this is how you need to shower in my house. Not should be, this is how you have to shower in my house. And I guess they're being timed on the shower as well because there's conflict on how long they're actually taking. Because I guess OP's family is saying, oh, well, you and your husband especially is taking like 40-minute showers. Meanwhile, OP's saying, no, 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 he only takes 20 minutes. I mean, I guess the easy way to solve this is to literally time the shower, but then don't, I don't know if it will help either or. Then again, I do feel like OP, if you are aware that they have a water situation and you're not being more efficient with the showers,
Well, it seems that OP is not aware. I'm just
well,
making
it
assumptions here.
OP wrote this and talked about how they have wait, it wasn't mentioned?
Yeah, the septic tank, but
Yeah,
that's usually separate from, like, there's water where you get your water, right? And there's septic
right.
tank, which is the other side of things.
But it's not a drainage issue then. So you should be draining less water.
Yeah, I don't know how the
I don't know.
actual like
Mm.
water works from there. Do you filter it out or does it drain or does it just stay in the tank? I don't know.
And he wait, is this would plumbers know this? What is the occupation that wouldn't have this information and knowledge?
Probably plumbers, I would say.
If there
But
are any plumbers listening, please do chime in. Let us know. I'm not quite sure. My septic tank knowledge is in the dumps, to be honest. So I'm
in
curious.
the dumps. Yeah, so
That wasn't unintentional too.
yeah, I guess my only question about that is, does like everything out of your house, does it go to what, a single septic tank, and do you have to, or is there like some things go to the septic tank and some things just, I don't know, like drain into the earth, I guess.
I have no idea. Well, here's the thing. Say septic tank issue, like whatever the reality of the water drainage or water system is aside, right? Point blank, would you do it? If say we were staying at my parents' house and they felt that way, or we stayed at your parents' house and they told us, "Hey, you guys are going to have to change the way you shower." What would you do? Like would
Yeah,
you
I mean, that's not even the question for me when I actually think about it. It's not a crazy ask when you think about it. It's just
No.
a
That's
slight discomfort
yeah.
because you have to maybe get a little bit cold while you're soaping up. It's not like they're asking you to poop in a like a litter box or something like that, right? Like not
That's
some,
true. It's like
yeah.
nothing drastic. There have been times where like I feel random pang of guilt, so then I just like turn it off quickly and then do it. Well, I especially do it when I'm trying to apply like say a hair mask or hair serum and you have to wait 10 minutes. So, not going to lie to you guys, I literally turn off the water and just wait in the cold for like 10 minutes for my hair to soak in the hair serum and do its magic before I go shower. So, I'm kind of thinking like it's not that bad of adjustment. I feel like now the fight is more become like a principle thing. I'm with you. I think I would just do it. Like, okay, it's kind of weird. Like, even if I don't agree, I'll be like, oh, a little weird, but okay, that's fine.
I mean, the only way I can see this with not going that way would be if there are many other requests that are very nitpicky.
Oh, like
But
it's a combination of things.
yeah,
Yeah.
but so far I only heard this one. So just based on this
Yeah.
thing alone, I'd say that OP is kind of an a-hole in this situation.
I think so. Now, here's a question because it seems like husband is more like the person who's using up more of the water. The OP's reasoning is that husband is balding, so he's shaving his head, I guess, in the shower and showering at the same time. My question, as I have zero experience with, thankfully, balding at this point, can he not just shave his head first, like using a sink, and then go into the shower to shower?
Probably makes it easier that way.
I mean, I know it's convenient. Like, I'm
Yeah,
imagining,
yeah.
okay, you shave your head and then you're just gonna wash your body. Like, it makes sense. But that sounds very wasteful, to be honest. Like, that sounds way more wasteful than just like the whole shampoo, like turning off the water during shampoo.
Yeah. Well, in any
Because
case,
he's like doing it every
yeah.
single time like, I'm imagining he's like scraping his bald scalp and then just rinsing the razor every time.
Yeah, I don't know. The way I personally say it, it's like it's their house,
Their rules.
their rules kind of, and I don't think this is a crazy ask in my opinion.
Yeah. For this one, I can't believe I'm saying this. Just, take more efficient showers, turn off the water, and keep the peace. It feels so wrong for me to be saying that. Keep the peace. Because you're right, it's not that big of an ask. Now, Opie does have some, I think I just woke up Beanie a little bit for some reason. Her head just shot up there. But there is some additional information OP wanted to add and some edits. So OP says, it should be also noted that we all live in the Midwest and it was 12 degrees out this weekend with snow and they keep their house at 67 in the winter. So standing in a shower when you're completely wet without the water running really sucks. My parents are well off, so it's not a money issue either. I don't mention them being well off to say that therefore money doesn't matter. I just wanted to provide context. Edit. My husband and I both respect my dad a lot and will absolutely follow the Navy shower rule when we are there. I'm actually very close to my dad, and he and I will have always had a great relationship. I am in no way going to disrespect his rules or stop visiting. I'm not even angry about the new rule. At the end of the day, it's their house, and my husband and I respect them enough to follow it. I just think it's a weird request from them. Edit 2. I know 20 minutes isn't a quick shower. I take about 5-minute showers myself. OP, I'm going to have to side eye you. I am side eyeing you so hard because the fact that you and your dad have a really, really good relationship and he's bringing up this whole shower problem not once, but twice and multiple times tells me perhaps you don't take a 5-minute shower. Also, okay, who takes a 5-minute shower? Like legit timer set 5 minutes. How can you clean every nook and cranny of your body in just 5 minutes? I don't believe that.
I think my shower could be less than that.
I'd rather it not be less than that. At that point, I don't know if it counts as shower or just a rinse.
Well, I'm not dilly dallying in there. I have a purpose. I'm not
What are
sitting
you trying
around
to
there.
say? What are you trying to say? I'm dilly dallying in the shower?
Yeah.
Excuse you. I am efficient. Well, okay. I am focused with a purpose. Let's put it that way. And I have a lot of hair steps to go through.
Well, I give you that. It's like the hair takes a while, but
But
I have fairly short hair, so for me, it's very quick.
yeah. But still, 5 minutes, I feel like you need time for the shampoo to work its magic and
I
the
don't
and the
think you need
body
that much
wash to
time.
work its magic. I swear, like I don't trust just a 5-minute
Yeah,
shower.
more rubbing, less sitting.
Okay, you guys will have to settle this debate for us. How long are your showers? I'm sorry, we're getting up and personal here. How long are your showers? What do you think is a too long of a shower to take, like an average time frame for a shower? Are you more of a 5-minute type of gal or guy or whomever? Are you more of a, 15, 20 minute? Are you a luxurious showerer, like 30 minutes plus type of person? Like, let me know. Now, there's a third edit, edit 3. My kids and I visit frequently, but my husband only stays overnight 1 to 2 times per year. He has a crazy work schedule, so he's not able to come overnight as often. So his showering habits are only an issue 1 to 2 times per year. Wait. So this is a consistent thing. OP, I am judging you slightly. Because the way she phrased it at first, I was thinking, okay, this is a one-time thing. Once in a while, this happens. But okay, if it's happening frequently like this, every single time husband's there and your parents are saying something, it's probably an issue. Like, I'm getting the feeling that maybe this didn't start out as your dad and your mom literally timing you and your husband's showers, but maybe they saw their water bill and was like, wait a second, what is going on here? And then thought, I don't think our showers are that long. But wait, we have the kids over and the grandkids over. Like I have a feeling your showers may be reflecting on their water bill in some way. I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. I am leaning towards soft, you're the a-hole. If you had refused to follow the Navy shower rule. because I think it's an odd ask from your parents. Like, it's not a usual request, to change shower habits. But given the circumstances, I think your parents are reasonable for saying what they had to say. I feel like people are gonna say, "Oh my god, you're okaying someone to control the showering." I feel like someone's gonna say that. First comment from Katie W. Quote, Dad, this is how normal people shower. If you want us to visit you, you need to be able to take regular showers. We will give you $20 each time we visit to go towards your water bill. $20 is more than enough. If it's not about the money, then it's about control. I'm not a child and you will not control my showers if I can't shower like I need to. We will not stay with you or visit you ever again. We aren't taking Navy showers, not at your house nor anywhere else. End quote. Oh, this is a strong top comment. Like, it has like 8.6 thousand upvotes. I'm getting the impression that people feel very strongly about their showering practices. um, I really don't think it's that deep. I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't think it's a control thing. Like, I really think that this story and the situation, the issue at hand is honestly surface level. Like, there's no tension in the background. There's no other beef going on. It's literally just, can you shower like this? No. Okay. Can you not, like, I want to shower and leave the water on. I don't want to be cold. Like, I really feel like it's as simple as the story is putting it out there. Just about the shower, guys. It also explains why OP added the edits to make sure that, there's no weird tension or anything else going on about the relationship. Another comment, not they all stop visiting or stay in a hotel. Considering that your father is well off his demands, make him an a-hole. If he asks why you aren't visiting or are staying in a hotel, tell him, quote, because you're a shitty host.
Man.
Dang, dad is being, people do not like dad here. Okay. So there are a few comments mentioning about how the dad's well off, the parents are well off, and they're doing this. I honestly think that it's irrelevant whether or not dad is well off here. Maybe that's a hot take to say, only because I think this is less more of a we're just trying to save costs thing and more of a principle thing. As I'm saying, like, okay, you can be rich, right? But it doesn't mean that you want to be wasteful when you don't necessarily need to be. I don't know. I just feel like this is a really easy compromise. Just try to conserve on water a little bit more. Like, I can say for myself, growing up, like in my parents' household, we something was always breaking down. Like, let me tell you that in my parents' household, something was always broken. And water, and I thought this was a very normal experience for other people as well. I learned that it was not. But when we shower, I tried to take like a quick shower at home at my parents, like when I was a kid growing up, because there was only so much hot water. And it's so limited that it's like, okay, if I'm gonna take a quick shower and I have like 4 other people in my household, I'm gonna try and like make this efficient so everyone else can have some so that it's not weird. Because when I'm telling you limited hot water, I don't mean like, oh, you just have to wait a few minutes and like wait 10 minutes and the hot water will come on. No, I mean like if you use a certain amount of water, the pressure from the shower actually decreases after a while. And then whoever takes a shower after you will have to deal with that. So that's why I can kind of relate. I relate in a way in terms of conservative, I guess, more efficient showers. Although, see, now I'm feeling guilty about not turning off the water as I freaking put on shampoo. I think I'm going to start doing that more. I mean, ask me next episode, guys, if I end up following through. There's a chance the cold might take me and then maybe my willpower just crumbles, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, our next story is from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for birding on my lunch break? Do you know what birding is?
No.
Can you guess based on the word birding? To go birding.
It's not like bird watching, right?
No, it is. Yeah, you got it right. It's bird watch. So OP says, I work in an office and have an hour-long lunch break. I don't have lunch because I do OMAD, dinners. It's fasting while having one meal a day. I'm also a birder, and there's a park full of birds right outside my office. So come lunch break, and I take my binoculars and go bird watching in the park. Coworker sees me, tells my boss. Now I'm in the wrong because I could have spent the time productively. And I'm apparently making the company look bad because other office workers may identify me while they cross the park after lunch. My reasoning is that it's my time and I get to do what I want. Also, I barely have time and sunlight to bird after work. On weekends, I have to do training to succeed at said job. What am I supposed to do? When am I supposed to live a little? Am I the a-hole? This was almost our wild pick story, guys. This is a very educational episode for me today because I'm not only learning what Navy showers are, but also what birding is. Um, I say, OP, you're not the a hole. It's your break time. You decide how to spend it. Whether you want to go practice martial arts or go to the park and bird watch and grab those binoculars, you do you. I think a break is supposed to be just that, right? A break from work. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to eat lunch during that break. You're shaking your head.
I'm just confused as to why other people care what OP does during his break.
People are nosy. People are so nosy. Like, let me tell you guys, I got a mini story for you. So at one of my workplaces I went to, right? I feel really bad, but someone had to take a dump. So they went to the bathroom and took a dump, and someone literally followed them and timed them. And then reported to everyone else, oh my God, this person took so long to take a dump. Like, why did they take so long? I'm like, that is horrifying. Why would you ever do that? First off, invasion of privacy. And two, now I don't feel safe going to the bathroom. And I didn't. While working at that place, I did not feel safe. My coworker also did not feel safe. We were just like, never thought there'd be a day where someone actually times someone at the workplace going to the bathroom. So yeah, there are very nosy people. And I think in the workplace, you know, sometimes there are people who cannot keep their nose out of someone's business. I'm just imagine OP, oh, it's time for his, probably 30-minute lunch break or whatever it is, hour, whatever it is at his work, right? He crosses the street, goes to the park, whips out his binoculars and starts just see, I don't know what bird watchers do, like in action wise. So I'm gonna try and pantomime it for you guys, but I imagine he's just taking out his binoculars and just quietly just just watching birds and enjoying his sweet old time alone. And then, I don't know, probably nosy Nancy or like silly Steven is just like, oh, what's he doing over there? Why'd he whip out binoculars? That's so weird. Oh, he's not eating lunch. And I can imagine there are nosy people probably watching him and not eating their own lunch and instead using their break time. Like, can you imagine this? Using their own break time to watch someone else on break. And then the audacity to report and like drag him down the workplace and say, you know what? He wasn't actually eating lunch in his lunch break. Whoa, whoa, crazy. So coworkers saw this, told his boss, tattled to his boss. His boss then says that he's in the wrong because he could have been spending the time productively. And he's also making the company look bad because other workers may identify him as he crosses to the park.
Is it one of those companies where you have a break, but you're not supposed to take a break?
Oh, like one of those toxic work environments. It sounds like a OP. Man, I can't believe I'm saying this. Wait, I can't say drop the D because it's not divorce your job. What is this? What is this? Break up with your job? Quit? Drop the Q? That doesn't sound as nice. I need a better phrase for that. But if you can financially and if you are able to find another job lined up for you and responsibly quit your job, I would highly advise you do so because man, if you have no time to yourself and you're just trying to actually take the break that you're told to take, and this is how they react, it's toxic. You're gonna get stressed out. OP, I feel bad for you. I'm wishing you more job opportunities that are more healthy. Are there job occupations for bird watchers? I'm just thinking maybe there's some sort of professional bird watching role that OP could perhaps take on and he would enjoy more.
I guess some kind of biologist.
Maybe like work in a lab or near a lab or something? Professional bird watchers. I don't know, OP. You know what? In this new modern age, if you really enjoy bird watching and enjoy it, oh wait, I heard TikTok's going away. So maybe YouTube Shorts. Start posting YouTube Shorts informational videos about bird watching. I'm sure someone would take interest. Maybe you become a bird watching YouTube channel. I, there's probably a channel out there. There's probably many channels out there. Maybe that's your alternative route. Maybe that's your move to go. But let's see what some of the comments say. First comment from these economists. You can do whatever you want on your break and no one can tell you otherwise. I don't care if you dressed up as the hamburglar and crip walked around the park for an hour. It's your break that you're entitled to. Do you know what the hamburglar is?
No, but sounds funny.
So, wait, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this is my guess. I might be wrong. Okay, my knowledge is a little bit backdated on this, but I could have sworn Hamburglar is the name of one of Ronald McDonald's friends. See, you're looking at me like I'm crazy, but Ronald McDonald, like the McDonald's franchise, there's like a host of characters. They all look scary to me.
To me, it just sounds like someone in a ham costume that's also a burglar.
Wait, you're picturing someone in a ham costume. I think the guy's supposed to be like a hamburglar, like a hamburger, but hamburglar instead. Get it? For hamburgers?
Yeah, yeah, but what would that look like?
Well, to be honest, the costume's not that crazy. Wait, let me look up hamburglar. Okay, it's kind of creepy. As a kid, I didn't really think about it, but now looking at the costume's horrible. But the outfit's so uncreative. They should have dressed him with some lettuce motifs and maybe tomato slices or something. Like his outfit literally is just black and white stripes. And then the only thing burger ish about it is that his tie has burgers on it. Lame, uncreative, boring. Boring, I'd say. I'm surprised someone made that reference. I don't know if McDonald's even markets that anymore, to be honest. Another comment, not they whole. Go speak calmly to HR and let them know that someone who is not your supervisor is presuming to tell you that you can't be outdoors on your lunch break. I hate to correct you, commenter, but their boss told them that. So,
You can still go to HR, but not sure what's gonna happen.
one tough lesson that I've learned, I think, after working for so many years is HR is not on your side. They're always going to be on the company's side, okay? They're there to make sure the company doesn't get sued and that their work environment, if they're doing their job well, is not toxic and is a safe environment. But depending on how your HR at your company is, they might not always have your best interest in mind. Another comment from Tempting Penguin. Not that you're entitled to have an hour-long break. Your employer can't dictate what legal activity you do during that break, be it eating lunch, shopping, birding, or just strolling. Let's see if there's a verdict on this one. So, no verdict yet. The story's only 11 hours old, but I can tell you in full confidence, and I speak for everybody here, Opie, you are not the a-hole. Do your bird watching and birding. That's so funny. That's a funny phrase for it. Opie, you do your birding. You bird to your heart's content. Sounds so weird. I support your lunch breaks, Opie. What's the craziest thing you've done on a lunch break? I feel like I'm pretty tame. I just literally eat lunch or take a break. I might go on my phone, but that's about it.
At my old workplace, there used to be people who would go bike riding.
Oh, that's so wholesome.
No, no, they would take it seriously.
Oh, I'm over here imagining they're all like wholesome, like, come on, guys, let's go biking together. And everyone's like in like cute little like matching outfits or something or athletic gear. And then I feel like when you were like, no, they're competitive, my vision, just like my imagination just changed to like, no, do better, be faster. Today's time was slower than yesterday. Do better. Oh, that's kind of wholesome though. I like that. Our last story is also from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Am I the A-hole for telling my boyfriend's friend's fiance that I didn't pay for the couple's trip? So I, 24-year-old female, went on a trip with my boyfriend, 27-year-old male, and his friend, 26-year-old male, along with his fiance, 25-year-old female. This happened last weekend and the fallout is active. I was told the fiance planned the cabin trip and this was my first time meeting her. So upon meeting her, I said, thanks for planning everything. The cabin was so beautiful, great location, and amenities were a great choice on her part. I'm gushing over her planning skills and asking for tips as I'm in charge of planning a trip with my boyfriend in 5 weeks. Man, girl, I can tell you're not a planner. Planning a whole trip with your boyfriend in 5 weeks? See, the planner in me screaming because I'm that person who's like, oh, we have a trip at the end of the year? I already started planning for that last year. Like, the planner in me is screaming a little bit, but maybe it's a short trip. Obi says the fiance casually mentions the price of the cabin and that it was a steal and that she was glad it was so cheap, split 4 ways. I told her it didn't make me any difference as I wasn't paying anyway. She got quiet when I said that for a few minutes, but we resumed the good vibes, so I didn't think anything of it. The whole weekend, she's giving her fiance the cold shoulder, according to my boyfriend. It turns into us 3 versus the friend, since she was hanging out with me most of the trip and my boyfriend. Like, it was so bad that she'd sit with us on the sofa and make the fiance sit by himself in the recliner chair. Every time I went to the hot tub, she went, or if we wanted to go on a morning walk, she would come too without waking her fiance. I didn't notice anything weird since this is my first time meeting and interacting with them, so I didn't understand how their relationship works. I just thought maybe they're not that affectionate. Fast forward to today, my boyfriend gets a call from his friend, pissed that I told his fiance that I didn't pay anything. This apparently ruined his trip as his fiance felt and said this in private to him that she felt embarrassed to sleep with him or be affectionate to him in front of us since I'm so well taken care of by my partner and she doesn't feel the same way. My boyfriend was in shock and is mostly a listener, so he didn't really defend me, but said to keep the peace, he'll ask that I no longer discuss finances with his fiance. I said, okay, but still wondering if I was the a hole to mention it on the trip. Everyone had already paid, so we were already there to have a good time. So maybe I should have just focused on that instead of who paid for what. So am I the a hole? Okay, I got it. I got it now. So let me get this straight. You guys went on a group trip, you with your boyfriend, and then his friend and his fiance. His fiance, the girl, is the one who planned the whole trip and organized it, and they had split the cost 4 ways. But OP's boyfriend covered for OP. And I guess when she found out, when the friend found out, she was mad at her boyfriend because she's like, wait a second. So OP is well taken care of by her boyfriend, and she didn't have to pay anything, and the boyfriend covered both of their stays. And yet she had to pay, and she's mad about that with her boyfriend, I guess. What do you think about this? What's your verdict? What are your thoughts here?
My initial reaction is whether the friend is upset at the OP or at her fiance.
So she's upset that she had to pay. Like she's mad at her boyfriend. So she spent the whole trip spending time with just OP.
So it's not about how it was said. It's just about that she had to pay for herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
You look confused by this.
I guess in general, anyone should be able to share their own finances, but is it impolite to bring it up?
There are a few things here. In terms of OP, are you the a hole for bringing it up or sharing that? I don't think so because it's not like it was a secret and it's OP's secret to tell, if that makes sense. So I'm fine with her sharing. I think the friend was also like they were having a relevant conversation. They were talking about, oh, it was such a great place. Like it was cheap. It was split 4 ways, blah, blah, blah. And kind of OP just kind of threw her situation out there. I think in a friendly conversation between girl to girl or friend to friend, whatever, like I think that's normal that it comes up and you guys share like financial transparency or whatever, whatnot. That's cool. Like, I don't think it's OP's fault at all. I think what ended up happening is that her sharing how her dynamic works with her boyfriend exposed maybe some insecurities or like issues that were already there in a relationship between the friend and her fiance. So that's why now she's blowing up on her fiance for it. I don't think OP's at fault. It was kind of like an accidental, like, oops, I didn't mean to like kind of create this ripple effect of shoot, like now it's starting a conversation that with everyone else. I don't know. Would you feel comfortable sharing? Like, say we're on the trip and we all split equally technically, but would you how much of our finances would you be comfortable sharing with someone else? And well, with the trip. Like say you were like paying for me or like I paid for you.
I don't care about that personally.
I don't care, but I also don't think I would share just because I don't see how it would ever come up. But I'm also not like, oh, it's a secret either. I'm kind of like, oh, whatever. I think it's very specific relationship based, like depending on the couple. I almost said that I don't think anyone's the a hole here, really. Except I think the fiance's fiance. Wait, the girl, like her friend's, OP's friend's fiance is the a hole for what he did after. Because then he calls the boyfriend and goes, why did your girlfriend say all that? Like, and now he's mad at them for sharing their own situation. I was like, dude, you're projecting. You're projecting hard. Because of how the the friend's fiance reacts, I can see why they have problems. Like, if you guys have problems, resolve it amongst yourselves. Don't drag other people into it. Mm. Let's look at the comments. First comment from Key Advance, not they hold. Different couples have different forms of contribution and relationship dynamics. Your boyfriend's friend and his fiance needs to be on the same page in regards to finances, which has nothing to do with you and your boyfriend's lifestyle. You unintentionally highlighted an underlying issue in the relationship where their personal values don't align. It wasn't your intent to cause problems, but I suggest that in the future, avoid discussing finances because you would end up getting involved with their issues as a couple. OP responded, yeah, I learned my lesson. She stuck to me like glue to avoid hanging out with him, which restricted the quality time I had with my own man. But that's cool. I still had a lot of fun. And she was very nice. And I'm glad she felt so comfortable with me despite just meeting. Oh, man. Although, okay, I guess that's a good point. Like sometimes you can share something very innocently and unknowingly. And all of a sudden, it's almost like the I guess the catalyst that kicks off someone else's like fight. And before you know it, all of a sudden now you're being dragged into the drama. So I do see that, like not from a you're a jerk perspective, but more like I guess depending on the group that can happen.
I can see the argument for not sharing the finances. For example, let's say sharing how much you make.
Yeah.
But for things like that, I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on this.
Yeah, I think with finance it depends. Like I don't think it's healthy or safe for anybody to just like scream everything out into the universe, like no matter who it is. But I think if you are very close with a group of friends or a small group of family or whomever, and you guys like mutually share things like that all the time and you use it as a learning experience and not like a point of contention, like not to compare or to be better than thou or whatever it is that you guys have going on, or it's not going to be an issue of jealousy, then yeah, I think it can be very helpful. Like I've learned a lot from my friends when they share their own finances.
Yeah, but in this particular situation, it seems that they're not that close.
Yeah, no, they met for the first time on the trip.
Okay, so I would probably lean towards being more cautious about sharing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Another comment, not the whole weird that she got upset over that. A little odd that you mentioned you weren't paying. OP responded, I only mentioned because she asked if I was glad with the price since I was gushing over the cabin. Ah, ah. Someone also responded to OP just mentioning, you don't have to pay for something to appreciate a good price. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I think it was just an innocent kind of share on OP's part, and she had no idea the hailstorm that was going to start for the group trip. I will say, actually, I'm going to revise my comment a little bit. I think that the other two, that the girlfriend and or the friend, let me say friend so it's not confusing. The friend and friend's fiance are both a little bit in the a-hole, not just the fiance. Only because OP's right. Like you guys all paid for the trip. Well, okay. You guys all participated in the trip, right? But now that you guys have this fight, it's awkward in a group trip because you can definitely tell when someone has beef in a group trip and it just throws the vibe off. And it just kind of ruins the whole trip. So I wish the other couple would have just hashed out their beef or like chosen to, I don't know, pause it or, keep it a little bit more contained on their own time and not let it affect OP and her boyfriend's trip time. So kind of feel bad for that soft a hole. I mean, boyfriend's like the fiance, not the boyfriend. Fiance is bigger a hole to me for blaming OP and boyfriend, but the friend is soft ish a hole. This is a common thing. Like friend groups will take a trip together and afterwards people get in fights and some of them don't talk to each other again after a group trip. Surprisingly. Like I'm kind of surprised that it happens to that level, but it does. I mean, I'm glad that our first group trip, I want to say, went by really smoothly. I don't think we had any fights or anything. I think we were just tired, but that's from all the activities we did, right? Nothing, we didn't really have any group fights. Have you guys been on any group vacations or even smaller group trips? And did you end up keeping the friendships from those group trips? Let me know in comments. And if you enjoyed our stories today, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe, guys. And if you're listening to me on Spotify, don't forget to rate this 5 stars. I'll see you guys in the next episode. And if there are topics or stories that you guys want to hear next, let me know. I'm thinking of changing it up, like mixing in some maybe like today I effed up stories or confession stories. I think that could be fun for you guys next. But let me know if you're even interested in that. I'll see you. Bye.